YouTube? You guys are now watching another segment of TheCaliEffect, King of Games, and today we are playing my left stroke just with Spyral. This deck is really fun to play. I mean, if you like taking those 20-minute turns and then going into time by turn 3, then this might be the deck for you if you want to be that dick. Or just win some games, because that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Was all about, right? This deck is really good, and I think even without Tri-Gate Wizard or Link Karibo, this deck can still compete inside of this format. The main reason why is Spyral Double Helix. I think that is a spotlight card right now. By declaring the top card of either player, or by declaring the top card of your opponent's deck, and getting it right, getting the corresponding card right, you can special summon one Spyral monster from your deck or graveyard to your side of the field, or add it to your hand. That is huge for being able to tutor or extra Spyral monsters to your side of the field. But more importantly, as you guys can see, I'm going against a future contender. You guys are seeing legendary 6 Samurai, or Shadow of the 6 Samurai with the legendary 6 Samurai, just 6 Samurais on drugs. And this is at a point in time where I didn't necessarily know too much about in-depth Spyrals or all the great combos, and as you guys can see, I'm still making some ridiculous boards, so the learning curve on this deck is pretty steep, seeing that I played it for a good amount of time, and you still don't know every single combo. So if you guys are deciding to take this to an event, I suggest that you get the testing with this deck right now, because it is that important. Double Imp Lock is probably one of the stars of the deck, seeing that we don't have Tri-Gate Wizard and Link Karibo right now, and I think that it's a really strong lock. Them both preventing each other from being destroyed is just amazing. As you guys can see, he's going to make legendary 6 Samurai Sheen to destroy your Recite Starling, which he didn't know that only won one copy of DD Crow, which means Recite Starling is pretty useless, but who really cares? We're going to go ahead and special summon Spyral Super Agent. That's going to destroy his Cyclone, but not before taking out my Spyral Gear Resort. So that's going to be pretty much, I mean, it's not going to be too much of a problem. And another thing I really want to stress on you guys is card placement. If I would have placed the Spyral Sleeper to the leftmost zone, or to the rightmost zone, instead of the left or left middle zone, then I would have been able to special summon Double Helix where Spyral Sleeper was, and then special summon an additional monster my extra deck, instead of having to make a Firewall Dragon and do all this other stuff. So you really have to be mindful of your zone placement. This time around, you guys are going to see Machine Duplication on Spyral Quick Fix. Now, this is really nasty. I don't even think my opponent really plays Yu-Gi-Oh! In this game. It's just me playing by myself with myself, because the turns or the amount of time that it takes after this is literally Ritual Beast on drugs. Like, seriously, if Ulti Kanahawk can be hit because of the time management that it takes to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, then this deck should definitely be hit just solely off of the time that it takes to make boards like that. It's just like Zodiac when they had Norden. So it's pretty busted. As you guys see, we're gonna make the Resort Starling really easy to make card, and then we're gonna continue to go into our combo by using Spyral Quick Fix to discard the Spyral Mission. I think this is actually the time where I learned you should never use your Spyral Mission cards. Never. Don't ever in your life use Spyral Mission cards to revive Quick Fix. Use that nigga to revive himself, unless you want him in the graveyard for next turn, which I just don't see why you need it. You're probably going to search every single one of your cards anyways, so it doesn't matter. The guy actually, if I remember correctly, he quits out during this game because, you know, it's kind of ridiculous right now. I can make double Firewall and I can still continuously go off. So it really isn't any point to play, but we still have 2 more games after this. Alright, so going against Elemental Heroes, I was really thinking, I think that Darklaw will be a strong card going into the format. If you guys think about it, Pendulum Magician gets hit by it, True Draco gets hit by it, and Spyrals. If he were to summon Darklaw, I have completely 0 outs in my hand right now. I would probably cry, but outward to it would be Spyral Fully Armored, plus the any 1900 attack Spyral. So, but still, just the fact that I wouldn't be able to go into any combos initially would pretty much suck. As you guys can see, we're going to start off with Spyral Drone plus Spyral Super Agent. That's going to allow me to make a Link Plate to special summon Quick Fix. I have Spyral Master Plan in my hand, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because now I can focus on getting Quick Fix to the graveyard, summoning Master Plan to search another Spyral Mission Rescue to my hand, and now boards are going to get nasty. His Silent Swordsman is 3000 attack and unaffected by monster effects, but what do I care? I'm playing Spyrals. I can get over that card at any given time. And seeing that the spell card only makes the monster unaffected by 1 turn, it's not really a bad thing. Oh my god, did I just Princess Sprite into the Dragon Ravine? Destrudo is coming out, and at the cost of half my life points, if that's what you really want to call a cost, you can special summon Ancient Fairy Dragon, or just let it sit on your board and use it for a link play. As you guys can see, I'm making double Firewall Dragon. This is really good, and now I'm gonna make that, oh wow, World Chalice Priestess instead of the Ancient Fairy. Reason being that I didn't make it this time, I'm pretty sure that it just would have got me the Spyral Resort 1,000 life points, and I didn't think that it was that much needed. So I'm gonna make this huge board with Ghost Trick Dullahan, 2 Firewalls, an Ib, and a Spyral Sleeper. His Spyral Swordsman is 3,500 attack, but I'm just gonna bounce it with Firewall. We don't Superman though. We just Firewall that. Oh, now watch me. You. Now, Firewall is going to bounce his 2 remaining cards, and that should be game. On to the next game. Spyral Resort is going to be activated. And then Drone. As you guys can see, Drone is a pretty important card. I'm playing against Jack Knights, and I have no fucking idea what this deck does, but they look pretty good. Once I read one of their effects and realize that monsters have to be in the same column, I'm like, huh. Let's not make that happen. Let's keep our monsters out of the same column and make it a little bit harder for him to summon cards. We're going to make Gaia Saber, the Lightning Shadow, and then we're going to continue to make some boards. Now, the reason I explain why I run Gaia Saber over B-Code Bulker, but I really don't think, I genuinely doesn't think it doesn't matter. So we're going to end up with Gaia Saber, Spyral Sleeper, Last Resort, and a face down, which is our Spyral Mission card. He's going to go ahead and activate his spell. I'm going to activate my trap in response to Legacy, and then when he summons his monster, I'm going to chain Spyral Sleeper to destroy both my trap card and his monster in spell. So that's going to be pretty dope for him after he activates his monster effect, of course. Pretty dope for me. Unfortunate for him, because now I can continue to go off with my Spyral combo. Not only did I have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring if I were playing against something that needed to search, I actually could have Ash Blossom, I think, that monster's effect, so it wouldn't have been good for him at all. This deck is really good, I'm telling you guys. I really don't even know what to say about it other than it's really good at summoning a whole bunch of monsters. Hand traps do hurt the deck, and going first is probably the best thing since sliced bread. As you guys can see, I'm going to use both of my Spyral Quick Fixes to make the Recite Starling. And if you guys really enjoyed this video, I'm going to tell you guys right now, dark hole that subscribe button for the awesome people, the ultimate people. Go ahead and write Geki that notifications. We do have a deck profile coming up, and that's why this video is so long. Really hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. So now you guys got to see the combos and some duels. Let's get to the deck profile. If you guys decided to pick Spyrals of your deck this format, you probably made a really good investment. The deck looks really good. It's primed to take over or at least do some damage at the upcoming YCS and regional level events. The best thing about this deck is that it does get better with more cards coming out like Link Karibo and Tri-Gate Wizard. But on to this deck profile in particular that is fit for the TCG. 3 copies of Spyral Super Agent. This card is pretty important. You want to, the reason why I run this card instead of 2 in a reinforcement of the army is because Droll and Lockbird. And that's actually the reason why I don't run reinforcement of the army at all, even though you probably can still run a reinforcement of the army. If you're going to get Droll Locked, you're going to get Droll Locked. But most importantly, this card, upon special summoning, allows you to rid back row and is a Spyral monster in its name. 3 copies of arguably the most important card. Spyral Quick Fix is a level 1 monster that can special summon itself from graveyard, but every time it is normal summon or special summon, you get to search a Spyral gear card from your deck to your hand. It's awesome. It is a level 1 500 attack machine monster, so it's a machine dupe target as well. 3 copies of Spyral Gear Drone. This card is also a really good card. It's probably one of the more important cards because it allows you to look at your opponent's deck and then rearrange any of the 3 cards that you looked at in any order you desire, guaranteeing you're going to get your double Helix and Spyral Super Agent's effect. But even more importantly, I think an underrated effect is that it can banish itself to add Spyral Super Agent from your graveyard to your hand. 2 copies of Spyral Gear Last Resort. At first I was like, why am I even deciding on playing this card? But it's a really good card, especially in multiples. It makes your monster unaffected or can't be destroyed or targeted. And also, more importantly, it is a monster that's searchable through Quick Fix. 1 copy of Spyral Master Plan. You only need 1. There are so many times where I'm like, dang, I should probably try 2 of them, but no, you only need 1 copy. This card searches your Spyral mission cards as well as a Spyral monster and Spyral Resort upon her being sent to the graveyard. 1 copy of Spyral Sleeper. This is the boss monster of the deck. By banishing 3 Spyral monsters, you can special summon it, and then its effect is just amazing. During either player's turn targeting a Spyral card you control and 2 cards your opponent controls, you can destroy them both. This card's like really good. 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I feel like the format is really predicated on searching cards from the deck to the hand, and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is critical against True Draco, against this deck, against Pendulum. It's a must. It's a go-to card. If you guys don't own them, there really isn't a substitute for this card, unfortunately. 1 copy of Maxx. To be honest with you, I don't like Maxx in any other matchup other than the Spyral matchup. And seeing that Spyrals might be, you know, the tier 0 deck, there's a possibility you're going to see a lot of Spyrals, so Maxx is really good. The 1 copy of DD Crow, because it is searchable through our best Link monster. Nah, it's not our best one, but it's pretty good. It's searchable through Recite Sterling, and it's an excellent counter to not only True Draco, but Spyral itself. And then Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisian. This card is dumb good. Don't even look at paying half your life points to summon this card. It makes it worth it every single time. Every time. Next, for these spells, that's 19 monsters. We run 3 copies of Spyral Resort. This card is awesome. It allows you to search Spyral cards. Keep in mind that Spyral Resort's shuffle effect is a maintenance cost. And seeing that it's a maintenance cost, you must fulfill the maintenance cost to its exact detail. So no, you cannot shuffle extra deck monsters into your main deck, but you can shuffle other monsters into your main deck to keep it on your side of the field. 3 copies of Terraforming to search the Spyral Resort. 3 copies of Machine Duplication. Actually, in my videos, or in the later parts of the videos, I completely forgot to play Machine Duplication, and the deck did all right. There was a point in time between producing this video and making the video, I shoved them back in, and you know, they're really good. You don't need this card to go off. It's just really saucy to have. 3 copies of Spyral Big Red. This card is searchable by Spyral Quick Fix and allows you to tutor a Spyral monster to your side of the field. It's nasty good. 2 copies of Spyral Gear Fully Armored. I thought that this card wasn't even necessary, and it was a point in time where I dropped this card, but the fact that it's searchable through Spyral Quick Fix was a really key pulling point to me putting it back to the deck. Also, the effect is really good if you're ever in a pinch. 2 copies of Seti Roro. I'm gonna call it Seti Roro. This card is nasty. So the reason why I was like, this card is a must. I must include this into the deck. So I was doing the how to play, which by the way, if you guys don't understand what's going on here, boop, you can just go to the how to play. And I was like, man, this card prevents you from being evenly matched. It works really good with Ancient Fairy Dragon. It makes really good with Destrudo. I convinced myself to play this card, and I have not looked back since. Not only does it lock out True Dracos, it locks out the mirror match, it also prevents you from being evenly matched. So it's like, it's a win-win situation. 1 copy of Dragon's Ravine. This card allows you to send Destrudo to your graveyard, but more importantly, allows you to discard those Spyral mission cards or even Spyral Quick Fixes that you want your hand into your graveyard. 1 copy of Spyral Mission Assault to special summon a Spyral monster from your hand to your side of the field. It's a pretty nasty good card. And then 1 copy of Gateway of Chaos. We don't want to draw it, but we'll give it to our opponent. They'll let them activate it to add that Gaia the Fierce Knight. I swear to God, if you tech Gaia the Fierce Knight, I will fucking kill you. Probably should have played Oracle Zephyr. 1 copy of 1 for 1. This card special summons Quick Fix and is free. Like literally, if you draw this, combos for days, man. Combos for days. 1 copy of Foolish Burial Goods to send cards like Spyral Mission Rescues from your Spyral Missions from your deck to your graveyard, and then the Foolish Burial to tutor Destrudo, Quick Fix. It's just basically anything you need. 2 copies of Spyral Mission Rescue. I found that this card was pretty good, but I didn't really need 3 copies of it. Probably you could drop it down to 1 copy because you don't really need it that bad. But it's still an extraordinarily awesome card, special summoning free Spyral monsters to your side of the field. And then 1 Spyral Gear Utility Wear. This card's also another awesome card, being able to Phoenix Wing Bash your opponent's cards, and it's a Spyral Gear, so it's searchable by Quick Fix. You won't believe how many times you can activate Quick Fix in 1 game and search all of your Spyral Gears, so you might want to run a good ratio. That's it for the main board at about 43 with the Machine Dupes. For the extra deck, we run 2 copies from Spyral Double Helix. You don't need 3. it should be confirmed. You just don't need 3 of this card. There was never a time where I summoned 3 Spyral Double Helix, but its effect is awesome. Being able to tutor Spyral monsters from your deck or graveyard to your side of the field or hand is exactly what Spyrals needed to put them over the hump. 2 copies of Firewall Dragon. You'll be surprised how many times you can accidentally make double Firewall, and it's really good against the opponent. 2 copies of Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. Since we don't have cards like Ningirsu or Tri-Gate Wizard, double Ib lock is pretty dangerous. Being able to summon this card and then basically mutually link them to each other can be catastrophic for your opponent. They might kill themselves trying to figure out how to out this. I mean, it's out, but you know, nobody thinks. Proxy Dragon is really good for getting into some insane plays. I was going to play a 3rd Ib, but I was like, nah, Proxy Dragon is a little easier to summon, seeing that it doesn't need monsters with different attributes and types. And like I said, it's a tutor to your other cards. Now, Ningirsu is an awesome card that I think a lot of people sleep on. The best thing about Ningirsu is that you can send cards from your side of the field to the graveyard to send cards your opponent controls. That includes your Spyral missions and your quick fixes when you need them into the graveyard. This deck loves to put cards like that into the graveyard to continue its combos. 1 copy of Gaia Saber. Alternatively, I've seen a lot of people running Decode Talker, and I didn't necessarily need the 2 arrows pointing down, but there are plenty of times where I need the Gaia Saber and needed the 2 arrows pointing left and right. I think it's really up to you guys, seeing that even when you do the decode combo, you don't summon twice. You normally get rid of the decode right after. And then Borreload Dragon. This card is really good at getting, or in the mirror match, when you go against a Spyral Sleeper, it's just an awesome card at getting rid of that threat. That's it for the Link monsters. We run 2 copies of Ghost Trick Dullahan. Not only can this half your opponent's monsters' attacks, but they tutor each other, and that's why you play 2, or that's why you play 2, because one adds the other one from the extra, or from the graveyard back into the extra deck. Basically, what you do is when you don't want your Spyral Quick Fixes to be banished just yet, you keep making Dullahan and then use them for link plays. 1 copy of Sylvan Princess Sprite. Oh man, talk about sauce, because this card is it. Detaching a material to add a spell card from the top of your deck to your hand. This card's free. And then 1 Lyralesque Restart Starling. This is actually normally the first rank 1 monster I go into because DD Crow is pretty clutch in a lot of situations. And then lastly, 1 copy of Ancient Fairy Dragon, 2 combo with the Destrudo. After you summon this card, it just gets nuttier and nuttier because it can still special summon Spyral monsters from your hand through its effect. It gives you 1,000 life points, so you start off with necessarily 5,000 life points instead of 4,000 life points if you use Destrudo's effect. Some honorable mentions is definitely Ningirsu when it comes out. If you guys did not subscribe to Shonen Jump, you're going to be trying to find a Ningirsu until it's reprinted in a special edition. And then Tri-Gate Wizard when it's come out. This card is going to be really nutty within the deck. It's actually a reason why Spyrals are so damn strong and can lock the opponent, or yeah, the opponent out of the extra deck. That's it for the extra deck. For the side deck, 3 copies of Droll and Lock, really good against the mirror match, really good against True Draco, really good against Pendulum Magician. You probably might want to find a way to main this if you're going to a YCS level event. 3 copies of Lullaby of the Obedience. This card is nasty for the mirror match. I think it's a really good card for the mirror match. There's like no reason why you shouldn't be playing this card in the mirror match. Hypothetically, if your opponent goes off, they still might have like an extra quick fix in their deck. They know sometimes they don't tutor through all their quick fixes unless they're using Machine Dupe, and some builds actually opt to use double summon. So Lullaby is pretty live a lot of the times. Another copy of Setiro. This is when I go against like a mirror match, when I go against True Draco, or when I know my opponent's siding an evenly matched. So I really want to see this card. 3 copies of Galaxy Cyclone. Card's fucking awesome. I mean, I really shouldn't even have to talk about this card. And then 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. This is for Pendulum, for anything else. And then lastly, I leave these 2 spots open. I want to say Solemn Strike. I want to say other stuff. Right now I'm testing out Zaphion. The reason why I don't like Zaphion, the only reason why I don't like Zaphion is because it requires your summon. And this deck really needs to summon. But in those situations that my opponent has a million back row, it was either this or Denko Sekka. And this kind of like rid at the back row and allowed me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In the next following turn. So I opted with Zaphion. Really, it's up to you. Solemn Strikes are actually really good. Not Solemn Warning, just Solemn Strikes, because they prevent your opponent siding in their ashes, the Drolls, and all that other stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching the segment of TheCaliEffect. I'm telling y'all niggas, I'm not living here forever, so y'all need to buy something. More importantly, if y'all got some shit to sell, you need to be hitting me up on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of TheCaliEffect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.